Come on, please. Yes! 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 Yes!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode number 58 of the 9 Dart Podcast, your one-stop shop for talking tungsten. On today's episode, Luke Littler goes back to the top of the Premier League with his 5th nightly win. There's a few players struggling on the Players' Championship scene that might have ramifications for the World Cup. And speaking of the World Cup, Paul Lim will be there, as well a brand new nation from Asia. To talk about that and plenty more, I'm Lorenzo and Josh. Josh Doheny's alongside me. How are you, Josh, on this Thursday afternoon? It's the first Thursday in May as we're recording this.
Chilly afternoon, I tell you.
Yes, it's quite a cold
winter has come,
day in Melbourne. The winter has finally arrived. It was actually quite a nice April, to be honest.
It was, surprisingly.
Weather-wise, and now it's significantly less so. But we're kicking on. We're warm enough in this podcast studio, so let's get going for the 58th edition of the 9 Darts podcast. Going
Aberdeen.
ahead, quite a good. We're going reasonably well, if we're
absolutely.
Mind saying so myself. So let's start with the Premier League night in Aberdeen.
What did we think?
Bit flat for mine, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
It just, it might have been a lack of a Scotsman, to be honest.
Yep.
That might have played a factor in this sort of thing. But it just felt like it lacked a bit of energy, and I wonder if this Premier League format, which was so good for people in the venue, has started becoming a little boring for the people in the venue. I don't know.
Well, we are getting to the later part now. We've only got 3 nights to go before the O2, so
It's come along quickly, hasn't it?
So for these fans, has it sort of dragged on for them? I don't know, potentially, but the crowd seemed a bit flat to me. Do you think as well? I don't know.
I think so. I think that's a fair estimation, to be honest.
Yep.
Wasn't a bad night in darts. We had some interesting quality. We had a few interesting matches as well. But,
we sure did.
I think the race is on now for the O2, and to be honest, I think who we're going to see in the final, barring anything ridiculous, is already sewn up, and we're just kind of waiting for that grand finale of this year's Premier League. Though there are a few interesting permutations I just want to get to, even though they're probably not going to happen. I still want to throw them out there as for funsies.
Yes.
But we're beginning to do the Darts archive from the last episode, which is our recap of a historic match. Our country to go through the history. This was maybe as historic as they came. The match that made history, Fallon Sherrick's winning against Ted Everts, the first woman to beat a man at a World Darts Championship. The interesting watching back this match, Josh, was Sherrick hit a lot of 180s in the early stage of this match. Both players were averaging up near 100. They ended up averaging about 91.5 in the end. It was very, very close all the way through. The player could have won it. Sherrick just did enough in the end. Had the crowd on her side, of course. And it was through, as I said last week, it was through a qualifier. The women's series wasn't a thing yet. So they had a rest of the world qualifier and I think a UK and Ireland qualifier. And it was Mikuru Suzuki, who was very close to beating, I think it was James Richardson or Jason Richardson, one of the Richardsons. Like a night or two before the Sherrick match, and then Sherrick came through and beat Mensah in the second round as well. And after this, it was in the middle of next year, which, if you remember, was in the middle of COVID. That the decision was made to do a women's series. They just did 4 events in that first year, and the top 3 went through to Alexandra Palace. And now it's blown up. So now we've got a minimum of 4, and with Bo Greaves on the Pro Tour now, really will be 5 women at the World Championships now. So we've gone from, these one-off qualifiers to a full-on, several tournaments now, several in a day now, which is just for the women on the women's series. A women's world match play as well, as a showcase piece event there in Blackpool, which will be coming up in the middle of the year as well. Another big addition. We've seen a few different players win that tournament now. So It has come a long way since this, and this was and once this happened, the attention was on, and the PDC responded by giving us more women's events as well. This was the big moment.
Oh, it sure was. Yeah, the more women's series, the better. We've had so many. Obviously, Bo Greaves being the standout, winning 100+ games in a row. But yeah, good to see, Lisa Russian, Gemma Hayter, Fallon Sherrick, these ladies coming through and playing really well and getting the attention that they deserve.
Yep. So with the expansion, so this was off the back of they expanded to 96 players for the 2019 edition. So this was the second tournament with this system, and then the women's series kicked in to replace that after, and then a women's world match play as well. That also gave a spot on now. So it's now 4 women minimum guaranteed a spot at the World Championship. Which now becomes 5 with Bo Greaves coming in off the Pro Tour Order of Merit now.
Great work, PDC.
So
well
it's been very important, and this was the match that had started that wave. She's still the only woman to win a match at the World Championship, but let's be honest, coming up this year, unless she gets a shocking draw, Bo Greaves may very well become the second at the very next edition at the World Championship when they move to the Great Hall for next darts missed time.
Well, look, if she's gonna be Gary Anderson, Michael Smith, and who else was
Rob
it?
Cross.
Rob Cross on the floor,
On the floor.
and beating them convincingly, at least Gary Anderson, then she has the world ahead of her. But looking forward to seeing her, for sure, among
And
many
who knows,
tournaments
we might
on the
even
calendar.
might see a win at a World Grand Prix or something.
Oh,
a
mate.
match there before
That'd be great.
before a World Championship win. But we shall see that all come up, and we'll be following it with great interest.
Sure will.
Plenty of crazy moments this week,
Yes.
and actually one from last week which we missed, so we'll get to that in a moment.
Yep.
First, Players Championship 13, 9 data for Doug van Dijvenbode.
Yes, your man, very very good. Against
He hasn't been
Matters Rasma.
as big of a 9-dart hitter as though he feels like he should be. He
Yep.
should be one that should be pummeling in these.
Yeah.
What are you going to do, Dirk? Are you going to stay there? Is that good enough of a life for you? He's dropped it.
And he dropped the dart as well, which is very impressive to do. As in to actually hold your composure and then bang right here.
We've got to call this. It's a go on price, isn't it? That's what we call it. Go on
Yes.
price 9 data to drop your dart part way through and still hit 3 big trebles.
Yeah, I agree. No, 100%.
It's an interesting another one coming up in a moment, which is amusing for a slightly different reason.
Yeah.
He's thinking about it here, Dirk. He's thinking I'm hunting down that treble. Had an interesting
Demonize.
back end of 2024, and then didn't quite kick on with it necessarily. But he's still, I think he's in the world match
He's
play
still there. Yeah.
standings at the moment. So
There
he's
about
done
at least.
reasonably well enough.
Yeah.
Interesting watching Mattis Rasma here throw. What's that? 9 darts, and I haven't seen him gone down to the treble 19 segment once. That's
No.
amazing.
When's the 18th?
What way are you going, Dirk? He's thinking about it. He's changed his mind about 4 times in about 6 seconds, but he is going the 18s. This is a great way to go. I love this way on 144 when anyone goes this way. 2 treble 18s and a double 18. Well done, Dirk. That was a 9 darter on a streaming board. And let's get to the other one, which was Richard Vinstra.
Yep.
A 9 dart finished Players Championship
Leon Weber.
14 against Leon Weber.
Look at his action on this one. It's so smooth, isn't it? Look at it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's just like
We don't see a lot of Richard Vinstra. I feel like we should see a little bit more of him.
Yeah.
To be honest, it feels it just hasn't happened. It feels like we should be seeing a little bit more of him. And with the way Dutch Start is going, who knows? We may be seeing plenty more of him. There's just so many of them coming through, and we've seen a couple of 9 darters
so
here.
good for the game.
Yeah, absolutely. The poor thing for Leon Weber is the fact that he had a bit of a disastrous
Didn't have to
couple
grow
of
this leg.
visits. He's left
Poor guy.
4-3. He's on 4-3-7 after 6, which
That's
the
like
music
me.
thing I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, this is you and me territory.
Double
Double
12.
12. So that's the more classic treble 20,
The
treble
sigh of
19,
relief
double
as well.
12.
That made it all the better.
He wanted that badly.
He did.
So
and he got
Richard
it.
Vinstra hitting a 9
Well
darter.
done.
We also had one from a 12-year-old in the WDF, which
Yes.
actually shouldn't come as a surprise much anymore. Thank you to Evan Peterson for
Yes,
shouting
thank you.
this guy out as well. Owen Bryceland.
Named the Bandit. Just
The
12
Bandit.
years old.
That's a proper
That's a
darts
good name.
nickname as well. The Bandit.
Unbelievable.
So well done, hitting a 9 dart finish there at the International Dance School League 2026 WDF. So the
That's
Scot
been very
there.
successful.
Oh, have I gone the wrong way?
Yeah,
Or-
you have.
or-
It's been very
I
successful
have.
all around for lots of youth.
Now this happened actually
It did.
in last week's Premier League,
Yeah.
but Rock was on a 9 darter, and then we had the bounce in.
How often do you see that?
Yes.
Usually it's bounce out, but there you go. He
That's a
was
bounce
lucky
in.
and bounce in.
There has been a couple on the odd occasion. I remember in a Dutch compilation watching a little while ago, Steve Beaton doing that in a Pro Tour event.
Yep.
Bouncing all the way. Oh, look at that from Steve Beaton.
It happens.
and he switches to the 19s as he says, "I'll take that."
Yeah. Well, you don't want to block it up.
Yeah,
Any
exactly.
chance of bouncing it out. Yeah.
No. So yeah, that's something you don't see every day. A bounce in. Usually we're talking a bounce out. So yeah, interesting stuff there. Now on the go back to the floor for a moment. Players Championship 13 in the last 32 match. Andrew Gilding averages 120 in a
Whitewashed.
victory, a whitewash 6-0 win over Joe Cullen. Gilding.
Unbelievable.
Hopefully, I want to see more of this stuff from Andrew. I love him.
Yes, we do.
I do love him. Give me plenty of thumbs up and exciting action.
Jeremy Cameron.
Yeah, exactly. Would be. I am hopeful, and it's looking a bit more likely now that he will be at the World Match Play.
Yes.
Because he was so good there last year, making a
was.
quarterfinal, beating Damo along the way, missing double 12 for a 9. So,
Yep.
and there were some big checkouts in that match in big moments against Littler. Even though he lost, he played so well. So I'd be very happy to see him at the World Match Play once again. The former UK Open champion. All right, let's go to the most recent edition of the Premier League. It was in Aberdeen. It felt a little bit flat. Littler claimed his 5th nightly win, which is just what he does. How amazing it for Littler. Like the first 3 weeks, he was not very well at all, and there's been times where he hasn't been particularly good, but he just finds a way to win these tournaments.
He always finds a way.
9
somehow.
of the first 13 nights have gone to either Littler or Clayton.
Wow.
So as a recap of the night, a 6-3 win, 105 average against Josh Rock.
Played well to his credit, but wasn't good enough. Averaging 105.
Not good enough. 101's not good enough against Littler most of the times, unless he's averaging 83 against Bunting. 6-1 win for Littler in the semi-final over Going Price. And then once again, we've seen a lot of Littler Humphries lately, which is the problem with this Premier League format, but it's also the only matchup I'm very happy to see multiple times is the Littler Humphries rivalry, which is less of a rivalry now because Littler just keeps winning into deciding legs. 6-5, yet again, another victory. Missed opportunity for Humphries there.
I agree.
think you were saying off air.
Yeah, well, I made we're trying to make more short form reels now, so either organic stuff. So I did a reel on the Instagram page. I just sort of showed how he was very, very good across the night. Like we've seen him, he's been in the sort of bottom half of the ladder,
the table,
but he just found a way to just naturally build himself in the game, and I just thought it was really, really good. Obviously, he didn't win the night, but it was so close. We've been trying to predict this man to win a nightly win for so long now. It hasn't happened yet.
I think we're going to keep doing it. I think we're going to keep doing it.
I think we're going to keep doing it, yeah.
All right.
But I was very impressed.
So Littler was the big story, the best story. When we look at the standings up to the 13th night, so Littler and Clayton, as we know, are off in their own little stratosphere at the moment. Going Price is on 21 points. Van Gerwen's on 18. Van Veen and Humphries are 16. And then it's you and I bringing up the rear with Bunting and Rock. But I just want to say, I don't want to say this so badly. Stephen Bunting missed, 2 darts at tops and 1 at the bull to beat Gerwen Price in Aberdeen. And he also missed a dart at tops. It deflected off flights and didn't land on the board in the match against Price in Cardiff. If he'd won those 2 matches, now Price got eliminated in the semi-finals anyway, so we assume Bunting does the same thing. We'd be on for the most amazing finish to this year's Premier League, because Van Gerwen would actually go to 3rd on 18 points, but he would be in a worse position, or a more nerve-wracking position, because Price would be immediately below on 17 points, Vavina Humphries would still be on 16, and Bunting, who would still be 7th, but he'd be on 15 points. He'd be 3 points behind 3rd. It would have been the most amazing, fantastic finish ever, and it hasn't happened. And I'm not even counting other times where Bunting has been in matches and lost. You being up 4-0 against Clayton on night 2 or on other occasions. It's been a Premier League campaign of almost for Stephen Bunting, because he's currently 7th. He's probably going to finish 7th. He's probably not going to be too far away from the final 4. There'll still be question marks going into next year of whether he deserves to be picked again, but that all depends on how he goes the rest of the year, whether or not they change the format and expand the field. It could have been right within touching distance, and we could be on for the most amazing finish if he'd won those couple of matches. Even if he won one of those matches, he would still be in a shout. But now, my man Bunting needs to win 2 nights in a row and probably make a nightly final. That gets him to 24 points. And, well, with 3 nightly wins, you'd think that'd be enough on that tiebreaker. But... so it's been a Premier League campaign of almost for Stephen Bunting. He's nearly been there.
Yeah, no, it has. It has, and again, what if he had a couple nightly wins? He'd be up to 4th in that mix. Obviously, he has to pull off something absolutely remarkable now. But
it's not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely.
Yeah, more unlikely than not. Do you believe in miracles? Your man Bunting, at least.
Well, we'll see what miracles can be done. But it would be extraordinary if he wins. So there's a couple of we were talking this off air. There's a couple of scenarios here which would be amazing if they occurred. One is Bunting wins 11 matches in a row to win the Premier League in the last 4 weeks, which would be extraordinary. The other amazing one, which could generally happen here, we've talked up Luke Humphries a lot, and I'm still hopeful that he can win a night. At the moment, he's on 16 points. If he makes the nightly final for the next 3 nights and loses, he gets to 25 points. Now, the historical marker has been 24 or 25, so you'd think that would be enough. If he's level with someone who has a nightly win, if for 4th spot, it's not, but as long as he doesn't need a tiebreaker, 25 points should be enough. How amazing would it be with this Premier League format, which is all about winning nights? Every match matters. You got to win nights. If he does what Simon Whitlock did, albeit in a shorter format, Simon, where you do not win a night for the first 16 nights, but it still gets you into the final 4, and then he beats the 2 guys who have won all the nights, mostly Littler and Clayton
Odds
in
on
all
to win it all.
likelihood in the final. Now, that would be extraordinary. And would that be the nail in the coffin for this bloody format, which ran its course after 1 year or 2 years that they've stuck around, and maybe we get something different next year? I don't know.
True.
But it would be something amazing, and it is something that could genuinely happen if Humphries loses in nightly finals for the next 3 weeks.
That's a good point. Who knows? Who knows? There's all possibilities, and I think MVG, which we'll get to, I think a few games here and there which have manifested chaos for us has now, because if Van Veen and Humphries had lost some games, it could have been really open between the sort of Van Gerwen.
It could have been properly
like
over.
18 to 12, and that would be, wraps pretty much. But
it's not. We're not quite there just
12.
yet.
But no, not quite there.
We've already talked a bit about Humphries. We can
Yeah.
probably, but he nearly won the night. Let's just go through his results very quickly. 6-3 over Van Gerwen, and that was a game that was pretty close to the first half, and then Humphries put it away. 6-3 win over Van Veen as well.
He was good himself, Van Veen. I will give him some credit. He was good.
Another couple of
104
performances.
against
A
Johnny.
winner against Johnny, and then losing against Van Veen, and then
good.
the loss in Littler to the final in a game that was there to be had. He had his
was,
opportunity,
then
but
a win.
he didn't get the opportunity, the proper opportunity to really win it.
If he had that treble 20, would have left himself tops to Shanghai.
He didn't get a dart in the end.
Yeah, at the end.
But
Very
he got
close.
the call that you require to win the match, but that is not what happened. So it was a positive surprise. It was good to see.
Yeah.
Now this is the last of the home nights, if you will, with Leeds.
Yep.
It's not really his home, but he supports the football club. It's close. It's the closest we get.
Somewhat.
Is this finally the night? I pretty much like to win the last 3 nights. Do I keep going? I still actually haven't fully made up my mind.
You absolutely can if you like.
My spoiler alert, I think I will have him at least go to the final, but do I pick him to win the night in the end?
We'll find out later.
I wonder if I
later
could say I really want Humphries, but I'm going to officially make it this. So
Bunting to win the night, so I can see right now.
Bunting to win it all.
Who knows? We'll find out. Just our opinions.
If Bunting, yeah, exactly. If Bunting, well, sometimes they're wrong.
Nah.
If Bunting makes the nightly final, he's still within a shout. It's not. That's the bare minimum he needs to do.
6-0, 6-0. You never know.
Yeah, it would be an extraordinary turnaround. How the other interesting thing that I should mention is, will you even need 24 points? Could you get in on a 23 or 22 this year?
You could.
I've been just thinking about this the last few weeks, and we probably need this night to sort of manifest it. But there's still a chance if results go the right way. If Bunting and Rock in particular make runs and the other guys don't pick up too many points, or the points are picked up by Littler and Clayton, who drag all those points to them and leave the middle of the table much more dry. You might not necessarily need to get to the historical marker of 24. You might need to still, but we shall see.
Potentially. Well, maybe there or thereabouts. Who knows? I mean, it all depends on this week, from the get-go at least. Yeah.
So is Van Gerwen still going to make it, Josh? That's the question.
He's in a bit of trouble.
He's on the bubble. He's 2 points clear. He plays the Nuke, doesn't he, tomorrow morning Australian time when they get to Leeds.
Yes, he does.
So...
Then they'll take on the winner of Price and Clayton if he wins. It's just the inconsistency
thing which is driving me insane with Van Gerwen at the moment, and it feels like he can still sort of be there, but his B game's nowhere near anything else. 10 years ago, Van Gerwen could have showed up with his B game and he still wins every tournament fairly easily. Now his B game is nowhere near enough to cement a place.
His last 6 weeks, he's won 3-3, so he's gone half. So interesting, very interesting.
It was big for him to get those points right at the start with winning the first night and making a final the second night.
Yep.
That's where almost half of his points now over the first 13 nights have come from. If this Premier League had started in the middle of January when they were out in the Middle East, then he would have been even further ahead. But it started at February. But again, it's that inconsistency thing, because we saw at the World Masters where he played terrible against Damo, and then he played really well the first couple of nights of the Premier League, and then he hasn't really got properly going yet. So with where he sits, he's by no means a guarantee, and
no, he's not.
It feels like it's not a must-win, obviously, but if he beats Littler, then things are much more back. Everything's calm. We're all good.
But if he doesn't,
we'll be okay. But if he doesn't, then
and you got
all
Van
the
Veen
guys,
or
Van Veen and
Humphries
Humphries have a great opportunity to, if not overtake him, then maybe draw level.
Oh, good, definitely.
So that
If
game.
he loses quarterfinal and Van Veen goes maybe a semi or even a final, or Humphries as well, you never know. You never know. Because
Just double check that.
Van Veen's on the other side of the bracket. Oh, sorry, no. It'd be so if Van Veen and Humphries would win, they get those points and have to play each other.
Yep,
So if
okay.
they're on the other side,
so
then
they can
it'd be
so
more.
they can both draw level. They can
They
get
can.
to 18,
Yeah,
and
absolutely
then
can.
one of them will be guaranteed to go past them if they
Yeah.
both win. Van Veen's got to get past Bunting, of course.
Yeah. So if Van Veen was to
course I know
lose,
that
then
one.
he'd be jumped up. Sorry, he'd go down, and either Van Veen or Humphries would
So
take
it
his
is.
spot.
It is
Yeah.
now that we're really talking about and discussing it. This is now a really big match.
Yep. Huge match.
For Littler, it means nothing.
No.
For Van Gogh, it means everything because he needs to. He would really like to
Get over the line.
keep that buffer, keep that 2-point buffer. Now at the moment we're okay.
Yep.
We're okay when we're a game ahead of you.
With the leg difference as well. Only
Yes.
-4 in comparison to -17, -8. Yeah.
So
Yep.
that also works sort of in his favor. But if he loses badly, then all of a sudden that's less good.
Goes to crap. Yeah.
So, because then if Humphries and Van Veen, Humphries in particular win, then their leg difference gets better and his gets worse. So now all of a sudden it's a bit tighter.
It is.
So yeah, that is a huge match for Michael Van Gogh, and for Luke Littler. It doesn't matter. He doesn't need to. He can rest up easy for this
He
next
can.
3 weeks. I'm sure he'd love to win another one.
He would.
There used to be a real in the Premier League in the olden days. It used to be really important that you finished at the top, or at least it meant something properly important because there
more.
was actually a bit of an extra bonus
Incentive too. Yeah.
prize money wise. They give that now to nightly winners instead, as the television industry is ever so briefly.
I mean, obviously get 10K for winning the night, so he
Yeah.
want to stack some more
So
prize
you
money.
want to
I'm
win
sure.
that as point of view, but you don't get that money. Used to be for finishing top of the Premier League. So
Yeah, true.
or at least most of that. So. There's less of an incentive from that point of view. I'm sure he'll still show up and he'll want to still beat
he
Van
will.
Gogh every time he plays them. But
No doubt.
it's not really important for Littler because he's got the Q next to his name. We'll see him and Clayton and then Van Gogh and will play just before. There's another Van Gogh topic we want to get to, but
Yep.
It's going to be a Littler Clayton final, isn't it? It would be wrong. It'd be ridiculous if the Premier League gave us anything other than a Littler Clayton final at this point of the O2.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You just don't know. Like, again, upsets happen, right? If you draw back to the Premier League example, the ANZ Premier League, which we're still waiting to hear an announcement on. Come on, we've been waiting
We're waiting for
eagerly.
dates. We're waiting for dates.
I guarantee you after it's going to be announced, go, oh, it's in Melbourne. That one again. Who knows?
Just double check through
Come
it. It's got just
hopefully.
refresh.
That we didn't think some Whitlock would win the Premier League. It was Raymond Smith and Johnny Tata.
And
odds
Pusey.
on. And Pusey, yeah, to an extent. So obviously Smith made the final, Tata missed, and then Whitlock won. So again, things happen. Strange old game.
It's a strange old game.
But yes, you would think if you're a betting man, then they'd be at the final. Yeah.
That's the way it feels like. And you never know. The one thing, if it is Clayton Price semi, we know Price has a pretty good record against his World Cup partner. So
True. Very true.
maybe we see something a little bit different. Right, let's get to, you threw this one in. MVG bar incident. What happened here?
So random bar, Netherlands. He got punched in the face by a stranger.
What is it with... I mean,
I don't know.
Adam Smith
I don't
Neal
know.
as well. Like, there's a lot of punching in the face in darts, which you wouldn't expect. But then again, it's a pub sport, so maybe you would expect it.
So I'll read you the top line. In footage shared online, Van Gogh can be seen talking with a man and a woman in a bar in the city of Den Bosch on King's Day, a public holiday. When the man suddenly hits Van Gogh in the face, security is shown to pull the attacker away as Van Gogh pursues him across the bar.
You wouldn't want Michael Van
Just-
Gogh, or is it someone who looks like Michael Van Gogh and chasing you? That would be pretty. That would be a little bit concerning.
Daunting. Yeah.
Especially given he's well known for throwing things into a narrow area.
Yeah.
Like
true,
he could get you in somewhere you really don't want to be hit. So
the last two lines are summarised. He had too much to drink and he was out of touch, out of line. So not great for him because player welfare we know is so important in any sports, footy, cricket, darts, whatever it is. And to be, you sort of present yourself an opportunity to have something hit at you if you're at a public bar, but darts, weird old sport.
it's
But
a weird
hopefully
old
he's
sport.
okay and he's no injuries
the
or
only thing
anything.
I just wanted to, one last thing on Van Gogh before we leave. If I don't see him doing what someone like a Peter Wright has done, if the form really begins to slip badly, that he's just going to be toiling away, still grinding away on the Pro Tours or showing up to Euro Tour qualifiers.
Yep.
If Van Gogh gets to the point where he's not even qualifying for European Tours, I think he says, thank you very much, I'm leaving. And I'll take some money on the exhibition circuit, but I won't be playing in the professional
Maybe.
anymore. So
Maybe.
that's something.
We've shown some glimpses of his really good stuff, though. That's the thing.
Yep.
That's what's keeping us really like,
Well,
we want
there's
to
a
see
few
him.
glimpses,
So,
but I don't know, Josh. I'm not sold.
yeah. We'll find out this week.
Speaking of just some names who've been around for
Yep.
a while, I did see something this morning that Adrian Lewis is thinking about going to Q School for next year. Now, he's just thinking about. There's
Come on.
nothing, anything like that. It's just thinking. And
Hope
the
so.
quote I saw him
Oh, I
is he
hope
doesn't
so.
care about the money. He'd just like to win another world title.
Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there. That there was something in there. We're getting very excited with
Makes me
him. But
excited.
calm back down. We've seen these moments
Come back to
before.
earth. Yes.
Sometime in May.
Yes, I was. So you beat me to it.
Where Adrian Lewis has promised things and it hasn't happened as quickly. He said he might play that World Championship qualifier when he was still tour card holder. He didn't. So we've seen these things before, but I just want to throw it out there into the void that Adrian Lewis is thinking about going to Q School next January. We shall see.
Exciting, but
Q
keep
School's
level-headed.
already very interesting sort of times. If
It
Adrian
is,
Lewis
yeah,
is
yeah.
there, geez, it would be extraordinary. Imagine Adrian Lewis playing against. Who was that? Who's the trainer? Angry Ginge, who says he just wants to be there for the
Oh my
to
God.
be there for the fun times.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh,
Was it him or was it somebody
was
else?
him or that Charlie Murphy?
I think
Turd.
it's definitely Angry Ginger. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was definitely the one who said I would go to Q School just for a laugh.
Yeah.
Imagine them playing against each other. What a
30
story
average.
that would be. 30 average versus 80 or 90.
80, yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there
That'd
because
be
I did see that this morning. So that's that.
Fingers crossed.
We'll talk a little bit about the sort of the Pro Tour and other dart stuff right now.
Yes, we will.
Ricardo Pietreczko was another disappointing moment
Very.
because he appears to be struggling with some dartitis or some sort of throat issue.
Yep.
Pulled out of a match during the
After
Pro
2
Tour
legs,
block
3
after a
legs?
couple of legs,
Yeah.
only averaging a little bit more than 60. And I think Christian Kist had a similar sort of issue in a match as well.
Yep.
The big thing with Ricardo is he is the German number 2, which means he's still in the World Cup
World Cup
team.
race. Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes when we get there. But if he's still struggling, like the World Cup's like next month, is it not? It's like a month
June?
away.
Yeah.
We're May. It's now May.
Yeah, because it's earlier this year.
Yeah, it's
Fractionally
also
earlier.
it's like a week or two earlier than it was last year. So we're only like a month and a week away, I think. It's coming around quickly. I felt like it's been ages away, and now I'm just sitting here going, oh wait, it's way closer than I thought it was because it's mid June. So if that problem continues,
11 to 14th of June. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
literally just over a month from now. Yeah.
So-
Wow. It's coming around.
yeah. So
good.
what this time next week we will be 1 month away from the last ever
We will be.
tournament in terms of an Australian time.
Happy days.
If these problems are still struggling, if he's still struggling with these problems, get the words in the right order. I think there is the proper option. We saw this with Jules Van Dongen for the USA last year, where he has to, or perhaps more presently, someone else needs to go. Ricardo, we can't. We want the best product for this World Cup, for this pairs event for Germany.
Yeah.
You really, if you're only going to be averaging 60, we really can't have you playing
Yeah.
in front of a home crowd as well that wants to see
True,
the best out of the
true.
home team.
Yep.
So
Very
Nico
true.
Springer is the next one, who hasn't had quite a strong start to
He
this
hasn't been
year.
as good as
And then
what we
Gabriel
would've
Clemens is also not too far away
thought.
on the ranking as well in that race.
Yep.
So that's just one to also throw out there that we might see a change there if Pietreczko or the PDC pull the plug. But just throwing that out there as something that might happen as well. So
true.
that was a disappointing moment. Pietreczko
Very.
not forfeiting a game after a couple of legs. And he's clearly got some issues with the throw at the moment. And if he's still struggling, I think the right thing to do is for Nico Springer to play with Martin Schindler at the World Cup instead of Ricardo. Which, I mean, this is a long way off the 12 months ago when they beat the Lokes in front of the crazy home crowd in that World Cup upset. So it's things have changed.
Has he had instances of darts before?
It hasn't really been certainly
I'm
one
trying
for
to
me that I haven't noticed anything or read anything before this week.
Okay.
Or even
sure.
the last couple
Not
of
sure.
weeks, where this has been a bit of an issue. Maybe people who have followed him all the way through his professional career can tell us. But I certainly haven't.
If you guys know, put in the comments below. I'd love to read more about
let
it.
us know.
Yeah.
But I certainly haven't heard about any problems before this year for Ricardo. The throw looked pretty reasonable to me. So
Interesting.
yeah, that's one to
Hopefully you
keep an eye on.
can get over it for sure.
Right, Josh?
Because it's so sad seeing players who we know are really good in quality, come down a little bit. So see how we
that
go.
text is coming off on the screen there for the video listeners. But what it says is the great debate, which is our next segment, will and should,
Yep.
which You can depend which one is the more important of those two statements. The top 16 be in everything. So we've talked a lot about this sort of thing on the Euro Tour, and even especially off the Pro Tour, when a lot of players have been not showing up to events. And the big one that's probably the one that is the most at risk is the Players' Championship Finals.
Yes.
Which you see a lot of big names not showing up. At the moment,
Like
it doesn't
Littler.
seem like Luke Littler will be there to defend his title, even though he could easily maybe show up for the last few.
I don't think he
win
cares,
them.
honestly.
Yeah. So, but will we? Here's my answer to this question, and then you can have a go. Will the top 16 be in everything, or will it happen one day? Yeah, probably. I can see the PDC doing that sort of thing. Should they be in everything? If it's by everything here, I'm really talking about the ranking events. We don't talk about the World. The World Series will stay the same. That is, if we have another World Series, which is again another topic I've wanted to talk about the last few weeks.
So you're talking about the Premier events,
I'm talking about the ranking events, not about the Premier League. The Premier League will stay the same.
So match play, Grand Prix,
Grand Prix. So at
Euro
the moment,
Championship, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So at the moment. If you're a top 16 player, you're guaranteed with the World Championship because that's the top 40 guaranteed.
Yes.
World Match Play's top 16, World Grand Prix top 16, World Masters top 24, UK Open is all tool card holders, and the top 32 enter in the fourth round. So the ones that aren't are the Grand Slam, the European Championship, and the Players Finals. Plus the European Tour is also
Those
top
three,
16,
plus
as we know.
that.
So
Okay,
will we see changes with those three? Will it happen
say
one
it,
day?
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
The Grand Slam has historically been the Champion of Champions tournament, but that's lost its way without the BDO element anymore. So if they change that, it's probably not too bad. Especially now that we've got 16 groups of 3, so the 16 seeds, just the top 16 in the world. Maybe that's okay. European Championship as well as a tournament. When it started, it was the top 16 was guaranteed, and only sort of like 10 years ago they changed to be off the European Tour. So if it's sort of like the World Match Play, where it's top 16 off the players of the 2 Euro to merit and top 16 off the European Tour to merit, then okay, maybe it's fine. The one that would be the real big difference, which is the problem because it's like the main tournament that's in issue, is the Players' Championship Finals, because that's all the way through been just about the Pro Tour and just about those floor events.
Yep.
And I said last week, and I still think they should do it even if it doesn't incentivize the top 16 players that much, by properly breaking it down so that, you know, if you finish top 8 over the 34 Pro Tour events, you should go into a tournament at a later stage than the guy who squeezes in at number 64. We shouldn't all start at the same stage. I think that would be a great incentive for some players, and even just a good benefit to hand out, even if it's not that big of an incentive. Will it happen? Probably. Should it happen? For some events, it wouldn't be too bad. For other events, it would really change their fabric. And a lot of people don't like the fact that top 16 have so many advantages as it is. Like, they're great players, and we do.
Top 16
in
in the world for a
stars,
reason. Yeah.
And you should be getting plenty of advantages for being there.
They have made it for a reason.
But it might be a little bit more difficult. I also wonder, Josh, if part of the problem is the fact that the ranking system is just is perhaps a bit too weighted to the big tournaments. If we had a better ranking system, if they did what I've been suggesting for a while, which is to sort of 50% gets knocked off each year. So it's a sort of, the first year is 100%, the second year you lose 50%, and then the rest of it goes off. If it was a better ranking system or a point system that was better than the old one, it might not be as bad. But I think that's part of the reason why people don't like the fact that the top 16 have so many advantages, because the ranking system is such a way where you can have one run at the Worlds and then you get all these advantages for the rest of the time. So
that's true.
What's your thought? Will it happen? I think it will happen because
good argument.
There's some worries about if you're Ladbrokes, if you're ITV and you're paying for Luke Littler and Luke Littler's not there, that becomes an issue. That's why this has come about, or that's why these conversations come about. So will it happen? I think it's more likely than not for some, at least maybe a few of these events. But should it happen? Is that too much of an advantage to the top 16?
I think the whole will part is, does the PDC want to give more incentives and advantages to the top 16, or they want them to compete as everyone else does? Obviously, you get the advantages of being second, third, fourth round. Obviously, the UK Open, great example. Get to the fourth round immediately.
Fourth round immediately, so, and that's for the whole top 32, not just the top 16.
Yeah, but more or less 16
top 16
as well.
counts. Yes,
that's a huge advantage. Huge advantage. So, yeah, I don't know. Will they? I think I agree to an extent. I think it will happen eventually. It depends on the quality of the tournaments as well.
It was
'cause
interesting
you've
that
got
they
the
didn't do
European
that.
Championship.
It was
yeah,
interesting
Euro
they didn't do
Tours.
that for the Grand Slam this year because they
Yep.
had the opportunity to completely change the format and they kept it to pretty much the way it's always been. So they might be a little bit hesitant. They might want to, but they might be a little bit hesitant with changing the fabric of tournaments because the Grand Slam has been you win a tournament or you runner up in a tournament and you get in and it's not based on the rankings.
Yeah. Well, let's take the European Championship for example, right? So you've got all the Euro Tours throughout the year. Don't you think that competing in these Euro Tour events should make you qualify for that? Because what if you don't rock up to half of them?
Well, you might not
Euro
rock up to
Tour
half of them,
events?
but you might still rock up to the rest half and win them all and still get into the tournament anyway.
Well, if you do that, then that's great. But again, like, should you just get like a free
hit into the European
free hit
Championship.
into it? Yeah, that's my question. I don't know. Is it
You
fair?
could still have a bet. You might still say the top 16, but you still have to win a minimum amount of matches on
X
the
amount of
European
games.
tour
Or still rock
to
up
get into the
X amount of
European
games, maybe?
Championship.
Yeah.
Or rock up to, or you would having it as win would make it a proper incentive. 'Cause now
Yes.
you can't just say show up to a few events because they will show up and then pull out and
Semi
say, well, I was
average.
there,
Yeah.
or I threw 3 darts and then pulled out, and say, well, I played. Like
Yeah.
no, if you gave it win, then there might be a minimum incentive there.
I think some guidelines need to be put in force to be able to really have it
Again,
be strict.
I think
No.
it makes
Not sure.
makes sense for the top 16 to have the advantage. But if the ranking system was just a little bit better, then I don't think people would have too much of a problem. The fact that the ranking system as of right now is very heavily weighted towards the World Championship. What's been said a million times that you could win the World Championship, not play, or win a game for the rest of the year and still be in like the top 4 or the top 3 by
True.
the next World Championship. The fact that they can't possibly be called for like another year at least, even if he loses every match in a ranking tournament from here through the next year. I think that's a bigger part of this than people necessarily realise why they're so anti the top 16 getting these advantages. There's also the element that you give the top 16 advantages on the European tour anyway. Don't feed them into the European Championship as well because they've already got
true.
that second round position. So it will be interesting. Will it happen? It probably will happen on some degree. It feels sort of inevitable, but should it happen? Is it the right thing? Maybe, maybe not. It would feel against the fabric of the Grand Slam and European Championship in particular, but in a way where it's like, that's okay. But the Players' Championship finals feels like these should be about the Players' Championship events.
Yep.
But that's also the tournament where, if there was one tournament where they really could do it, it would be that one because that's the one where the top 16 players a bit more apathetic at the moment.
Food for thought, I reckon.
Yeah, so it is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll keep thinking about that. We got some floor events too. Sorry, actually, you got.
I want to do some JDC stuff
first,
in
sorry.
a moment. We will
Jump the
get
gun.
to the floor events because we had some interesting results over there
Jump
with
the gun.
that's okay with the JDC. With the PDC Players Championship Series resuming, but
Yes.
we'll talk about the JDC once I just get these up in a second. Come on, move faster.
Mitch Laurie's been doing some great stuff. We'll talk about him in a
Yes,
moment.
well,
He's gone beyond the JDC and all.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
beyond
been WDF
winning.
and all this stuff. He's been unreal. But
Yeah,
so many future
he's well
stars.
Beyond he's well beyond the future star at the moment.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a star of the present.
He's gone above and beyond.
He has qualified
that.
for Lakes. We'll get to that in a moment. So,
Yes.
13 players tasted a Foundation Tour event wins over the weekend. So what was it? English. So there were several events in English South, English North. Let me keep walking down. Belgium, and I think was there one in Ireland as well? Yes, Ireland as well. So there were several events. So the big names that really came out of the weekend: Lewis Jones from the England North, Alfie Yarrow from the English South, and
Yep.
Scott Doyle from
Okay.
Ireland, winning 2 events.
Cool.
So they were the big winners on the Foundation Tour. Along in the vaults, JDC vaults, Jack Johnson was one. That was a notable
Okay.
name.
Yep.
He
Very
won
notable.
the Southeast Series 5 final. So he won Southeast. So these are a little bit more local tournaments. Finley, Cleve, South West, West Midlands, Alfie Moore, East Midlands, Oscar Rumsey, North, Benjamin Smith, Northeast. These are all England, I'm pretty sure. Jacob Siddons, Northwest, Elijah Bale, Scotland, O'Reilly Harris, Wales, Andre Ali, and Ireland, Jamie Cunningham, all picking up those junior vault titles.
Cool.
Many of these players, so for example, Harris will be representing Scotland at finals day as well. So a lot of these are going on to the National Vaults final. Jack Johnson, obviously the biggest and most notable name of the winners on the JDC. So well done to everyone who picked up tournaments wins in the JDC during the week. Let's go back to the floor. Kevin Doets won Players Championship 13.
He's had a great start to the year.
He's had a great start to the year. Either he or Luke Woodhouse was going to pick up their first title if they made the final together, and with an 8-5 win in the final to Doets, there it is. So who did beat on the way? Mervyn King, Daryl Pilgrim, Kim Einbrecht, Jermaine Watermaner, Rob Owen making quarterfinal, Mike Kuhnehoven making a semi, and again Luke Woodhouse in the final. So well done, Doets, for picking up a title. He's one where, again, I'm expecting a few more bigger things in the coming years for Kevin Doets. He's sort of promised it a little bit.
No, he has. He's been good. Very, very good. All averages north of 93. So very good. 100, 500, 700 in the final. Very, very good stuff. Very, very good.
But he's
impressive.
He hasn't been the main man on the Pro Tour this year. It's been Vessel Nijman who keeps winning. One? It's another one. It's extraordinary.
Guys. 5 out of... Sorry. Yeah. We've had 14 so far. He's won 5. That's... absurd.
Needless to say, he's top of the Players Championship finals race. Yeah. He's the number 1 seed there. I couldn't believe it. Daniel Kleis, Jurgen van der Veld, Niall Cullerton, Joe Cullen making last 16 on that event. Christopher Tysky, Danny Noppert making a semi.
Max Hopp making
a final.
Very good. Very, very good for him. That's good to see. He had 98 average himself, but worse for Nijman. I said to you off air, he's got like an 80% win rate on the floor. Something crazy. Like, it's just unbelievable. He just thrives in that environment, thrives on that stage. I don't know how he does it, but we know he's very, very good. So, how many will he win? 10, 15 for the year? Who knows?
Well,
there's 30, right, for the year?
34.
34
now.
Yeah.
He could win 10. Maybe I'd go maybe somewhere in and around 10, maybe. And there's another 20. That might be a bit.
20.
It feels crazy to say like he could win 10, but he could.
Oh, he could,
but
no doubt.
There's also he could skip a few later in the year if he's focusing more on those big TV majors, which he's still yet to make a deep run in one yet. Yep. So maybe we might not see him playing in a ton of these for the rest of the year because he's already a lock for Minehead. So it is possible that he doesn't win as many in the rest of the year just because he isn't showing up to as many.
True. Very, very quick. Premier League contention in the future.
I thought you were going to say something about we got news about the ANZ Premier League.
No, sorry.
You gave me false hope.
No.
It's definitely possible. He obviously needs to do more things on television,
sure.
But we can say that he can't be too far away from the conversation at the moment because the way he's trending is definitely in a Premier League direction.
Very good direction.
We shall see. Let's finish the end of this year's Premier League before we even dare speculate on next year's Premier League.
Of course.
And also confirm if they change the format or not.
Absolutely.
So
he's trending in the right direction.
He's trending in the Premier League direction.
He's very much.
And we can have him. Sorry, I'm off the microphone. We can see in a little while if he is indeed going to be at a Premier League night sometime in the future. He's one to keep an eye on.
I reckon he definitely can. Our boys, Header and Leakey, didn't have the best outings.
It wasn't a strong weekend from them. But
the
I will say Damon Hetter's got a little bit further away now on the World Match Play race. It's still pretty close, but he's in a few positions higher, which is good. I think he's 13th now in that race.
Yeah. So in the first event, good to see Leakey get a win. 81 average, solid enough. Header lost, and then Leak lost to Woodhouse in the top 64. The next day in the 14th event, Leakey lost to Michael Smith, who played very well, 90 average. Damon had a great win in the top 128 average. Smashing win against Jim Long, 110 average, 6-1. That's fantastic.
There's still a little bit of hope. There's still a little bit of that Damon. The problem is that the 110 was immediately followed by an 86. So
correct.
That's where now the range is really, where the old Damon Header was like, the range was, you knew pretty much what you were going to get. Now the range is now getting a lot bigger.
The spectrum's like
you got 100,
bad,
110,
really
and 86.
Yeah.
It was only a 6-4 defeat in the end, but that range is getting
Max Hopp,
considerably more noticeable between the best and worst versions of Damon Hetter at the moment in PDC events. So we'll keep an eye on that. So that does concern me a little bit that he's still a bit hit and miss. But 110 average, nothing to be sneezed at least.
After 14 events, no streaming board yet for Leakey.
How many players have not been on a streaming board?
I had a great chat to Dalton Nev, guy on the darts down, a very good guy. He sent me a stat.
Friend of the show. Friend of the show.
Very good friend of the show. I think like all the 5 players haven't been shown on a round 1 streaming board yet.
Of the tour card holders.
Yes, and you can take out Littler because obviously, you know, he's
Of
not
those
playing.
who have showed up.
Yes. So Thomas Lovely was one. He got on the 14th edition of the board.
Okay.
Of the tournament, rather.
Of the events.
Event, rather. Yep, thank you. And I think someone else did. So is there some sort of hatred towards the man? We've seen one glimpse at the UK Open after his win. That's it. That's all the footage we've seen. And I'm sick to death of putting that same photo in the whole time.
It's the same one at the Modus. Don't worry,
Come
Josh.
on,
Next
PDC,
we are 1 month and
please.
1 week away from seeing him
We'll
in
see
a
him
very
there.
different shirt
Yes.
with Damo representing
Yes.
Australia at a World Cup of Darts.
Have you seen the content they've done like online? I think Damo has done some content
They're doing
together.
they're doing a little bit together.
It's good. Good bonding. Good morale.
We'll
Good
need
rapport.
to see that from them at the World Cup Darts. Speaking of
You
which,
will.
Josh, we actually have
Yes.
all 40 teams now because the last 3 spots
Hell
were
yeah.
taken. And I have some magnificent news to share for the podcast. I said last week
Stage
I was
is
a little
yours.
bit worried, but when the draw came out and I saw the groups, I went, yes, fantastic. They're in the preferable group. Now, they actually changed the format based on last year was a group stage, then 2 semi-finals. The winners of the semi-finals got through to the World Cup and then a 3rd place playoff. This year, the winners of the groups got through automatically and then the 2 second places played off. So when they won their group, they'd actually done it. Paul Lim is going to the World Cup of Darts.
Yes,
it
baby.
would not count as a World Cup of Darts if Paul Lim was not there. So he is going to
Hear,
be there
hear.
with Wei Wei Tan once again. So they won what was the easier group, to be honest, getting through. So that's Singapore. We're going to see Mongolia, who've just their darts levels are getting a lot better over the last couple of years.
100%.
Would you like to say who's
I'm not even going to
representing?
try. I just put it there. So fans can
Ganzering
see.
and Altan. I'm just gonna
Altan Tucker. Not sure.
talk. I did have a look at these like on Google, and I don't know. I don't
Should have
know.
got Google Translate to pronounce it for
Yes,
us.
we actually could do that, but I'm not going to bother.
No.
We're
Next time
we're
round.
running out of time. So well done to Mongolia, who's going to qualify, as well as the Thailand pairing as well, getting the better of. I think China's Taipei in that 3rd place
Think so.
playoff.
Yeah.
In a bit of an upset. So
Yeah.
So we've got some new names at
Happy
the
days.
World Cup of Darts this year with Uganda as well out of Africa. So some new names.
And Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago
Tobago.
out
Saying
of
that
the
bloody wrong.
out of the Caribbean and Latin America
Yes, very
side
good.
of things. So
All 40 done, yeah? You said?
so all 40,
40 done.
nations have been done.
Nation,
Most
yep.
pairings have been done.
Yep.
There's still a little bit. CDC actually this weekend will determine the US and Canadian pairs. So we might present that to you next week.
We will.
So well done to all involved. And especially to Paul Lim, who
Yes,
is going to
happy
be at
days.
yet another PDC tournament on a big stage.
Beautiful to see.
Mitch Lawrie won the Denmark Open on the WDF side of things because, of course, he did. He's a lock now for Lakeside, assuming he doesn't go through the PDC UK
Circuit.
and Ireland qualifier.
Yep.
That if that qualifier happens just after he turns 16, then he might be still a chance. Otherwise, he'll be at Lakeside, looking to win that title that he got so close to winning last year, losing in the final to Jimmy Van Ski. Challenge
Yes.
tour from Hildesheim, Germany.
Yeah, so for those that know what the Challenge Tour is, it's like a secondary tour that
It's
the
the
PDC
main
does.
second tour.
Yeah,
It's the
so
main second tier.
top two get a tour card, top 3
World Championship.
qualify, and then top qualify for the Grand Slam. I'm pretty sure it is, or whatever it
top
is.
will go into the Grand Slam. Top 2 get tour cards. Top 3
Places in the world.
place in the world. Top 8 UK Open for next year as well.
There you go. Yeah.
But that also you also have to take out guys who are also that top 8 also gets a little bit interesting when you factor in guys who already get the tour cards. There's actually a few places lower.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we had 5 events across the week. Some really good stuff. £3,000 on offer for each event. Really good numbers across the board. So Levi Frauenfender, hopefully got that right. He won the 11th event. Some really good numbers in the 90s. Young Harry Ward, he won the 12th event.
the second of the weekend.
Yes, so the weekend. Some 94s there. Christopher Wickenden. Bro, look at that
Lovely.
beard. That is great. That's like a Summer
That's-
Whitlock beard.
Yeah,
That
Simon
is
Whitlock and
fantastic.
Andres Harrison areas with that one. Well
That's
done, Christopher.
Fantastic. 95 against Scott Campbell, who's been on the tour. David Evans made a final. That's really good for him. So some good stuff there. Joe Hunt back on the winners list. We'll see him. He's the top of the rankings at the moment. 91 average there. Some good stuff. And Daniel Ayres finished off the tour for the weekend in number 15. Some really good stuff across the board. 97 average there. And that's what the standings look like. I've just got the top 20 for now, but Joe Hunt leads it for now. Derek Coulson, again, he's been very good. He looks in a very good spot for a tour card. He's on £9,550. Tommy Leishman's in there in the 3 spot. Danny Ayres, Tommy Morris is in the 4th and the 5th. So
Naden Kirk 6th as well.
Yep.
Well known for
my man
upsetting Phil Taylor.
Jack Tweddle in 9th as well. So he's pushing up there. So
the other important thing we should mention off the Challenge Tour is when tour card holders drop off of the Place Championship events, these guys get the call-ups. These guys are the reserved list. So doing well here, especially in these first few months, is really important because that gives you Pro Tour experience. And then maybe someone like Derek Coulson does really well on the Pro Tour, then gets a card and then can really bounce into the next year. We saw Bo Greaves do that.
He was so close
most recently.
So close.
It would be great to just see. We are big Derek Coulson fans here at the Lined Up Podcast, and we do Andreas Harrison. But it would be great to see DC win a card through this Challenge Tour, and then we don't need to worry about Q School. He will be at a spot of the world, so he can now just focus really on prepping himself for starting a new year and not having to worry with, I got to go to Q School again. I've got all these demons. I got to pay the fee. That's all. Just don't worry about that. Get you the card straight away. So at the moment, he looks good. The second position. Still very good. A long time to go, as we know.
We're only in May now, so. Very good.
So just quickly jump back to the Asian Tour. More events over the weekend. Yep. Top 5 make it through to the World. Also, there is a couple of TBC spots on the World Championship list. So we'll see what comes of that. They'll probably just give them to the tour card holder qualifier again.
Probably.
We don't know as of yet.
We don't know.
Muramatsu from Japan is on top. Palon Abreu has jumped into second.
Yep.
After this recent slate of events, it's now looking like a bit closer to what you would have expected coming in. Like after 4 events and 8 events, you were like, geez, we've got some Mongolian players in there. We've got some really bizarre names, which we weren't expecting to be in the top 5. Yep. Now it's beginning to look a bit more normal. Manluk Lung 3rd, Sakai 4th, Lokian Lee 5th. Paul Lim has just not had a great start. I've been following him. He's 30th at the moment. He's been basically pick up a win or 2 and then doesn't win. He's not a top 8 seed. The top 8 are seeded, so he's not a seed anymore.
Yep.
That's off the annual rolling system, a 1-year rolling system is the seeding for that. But this is the World Championship race, so
16 events to go. There's still plenty of time.
There's still plenty of time. There's still traditionally this has been halfway. It has been 24. Starting last year, I think it was expanded to 28. So there is more time for those on the outside to work their way in. Also, the Steel Darts Japan Tour, they held their first 4 events. So there's Motomo Sakai, who's currently 4th on the Asian Tour. He's also 4th on the Steel Darts Japan Tour. The interesting change here is last year we saw them play off in a one-off tournament at the end of the tour to determine their World Championship spot, which went to Tatsunami, who played Van Gogh and memorably at the Worlds. So he's currently sitting in 4th position, Tatsunami. But now it's just off these 12 events. Winner, finish top order in marriage, you get the World Championship spot. So Sakai's currently in that top spot. I'd imagine, is the Asian Tour higher ranked on the preferences than the Asian Tour? I would thought so. So maybe Ono's currently in the World Championship spot at the moment. But that's where things stand. There's still plenty of events, but Sakai's got a promising lead there already. Let's go to Modus.
Yes, Michael Huntley won the first week of Series 14. Not the prettiest final by any means. 77 average to 76 against Mark Dudbridge. Not too great on the doubles, but yeah, that's just sort of how we roll. We're not too great. Week 2, Westy's back. Neil Duff is back. Simon Stevenson, who made Champions Week as well, he's back. Paul Hogan, he's a very well-known name, stalwart of the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, good mix for the second week. And Westy won the Group A.
Your man.
13-2, if you don't mind. He loves the motor stage. 26 points there, so he's through. So, yeah, very good. Very good across the board. A good mix of players. We had a game.
Another win for Josh.
Another win. You had a really good first leg, and you had darts to double.
I had 6 darts to double. What was it? I think maybe I had a couple of double 18, which were terrible, and double 16. But then the last 2, the 5th and the 6th dart double 12, and especially the double 6 were thrown so well. That double 6 was brilliantly thrown.
100%.
It was inside, and then Josh won the leg, and then I didn't particularly get close. 120 highest score, 28 darter along the way.
7 for me is not horrible, but yeah, my scoring is just. I'm in a bit of a rush at the moment. Ever since I made that mock odd thing, I've just gone plummet down. That will show on the next slide when I lost again.
My favourite 9 Darts podcast moments when Josh did a mock betting thing for those who weren't there at the time. In his darts down under Division 2, right when he was like top of the standings, and then missed promotion into Division 1 because he didn't win a game since that. The hubris and the early Crow stuff was off the charts.
That was hilarious. I won't lie.
Speaking
Funniest
of
moment.
Division 2, you lost to Cody Atwell.
Yeah, 6-2. Again, wasn't great. I had a couple ton 40s, to be fair. I think I was on a 180 once, but not good enough again. Just not today.
So where are we? Is this the end?
This is the last week. Very,
This
very
is the
last
end.
week. Very last
The end
week.
of the line.
End of the line for me. Won't be anything promo-wise. Steve Clark is my opponent for the fixture. We got the updated ladder here. I don't know why the sort of colouring has changed, but again, that's sort of middle to bottom half of the bracket.
Yeah,
4,
middle.
4, and 7. So, yeah, decent enough. But
4 wins and 4 draws. It's
not
still-
happy
It's not.
for me.
It's not too bad.
Not happy for me. Nah.
All right.
But that's the average. Again,
Two
I'm
180s,
hovering,
116 highest
I'm
out.
hovering around that 50 at the moment. I want to be pushing 55s, but just not good enough at the moment for me. But I am joining a new series, given that the Dust Down Under is on hold for a little while. I'm joining the TDR Tasman series. It's a very similar concept, but it's actually Australia and New Zealand on this Discord server. It's a 7-week tournament. It's like a main order of merit and stuff as well. So you get points per win. It's actually like a really cool system. Really, really cool. So I'll be taking part in that. Look at that logo. It's a nice logo.
It's a nice
hey?
logo.
I'm not sure if it's AI or not, but nonetheless, looks really good. Looks really good. So I'll be playing a bit of that.
The week ahead now, night 14
Manifesting
of
more
the
chaos?
Premier League. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do, and we need to wrap up the show pretty
We
quickly.
do. Let's get
Let's start.
going.
Gillen Price plays Johnny Clayton. I think Johnny Clayton probably doesn't particularly care at this particular point in time.
But still.
He went down to Van Veen last week. I'm going to say Gillen Price 6-4 win over Johnny Clayton.
Price 6-4.
Joshy?
Okay. Interesting. For me, again, Price has been sort of down the last couple of weeks.
It has been
I
down the last
reckon.
couple of weeks, but
Yeah. You know what, we'll do
We'll-
Price. He'll beat the Welshman matchup. 6-3. I'll give
Okay.
one less leg.
Luke Littler and Michael Van Gerwen is the
This is
second matchup. This is a huge
probably
matchup
the-
for MVG.
the
Match of the
biggest
night.
game of the night. Yeah. Beat me
Certainly
to
from
it.
the quarterfinals side of things. And Luke Littler will win at 6-3.
6-3. Yeah, it's the game of the night for sure. Again, if MVG can't get over this hurdle and some stuff goes on the back end, 6-3.
Yep.
Okay. Could I manifest more chaos? Littler. It's hard not to go past him just the way he's playing at the moment. And again, big ramifications if
Van
MVG
Gerwen
does loss, and I'm going
lose.
6-3. Yeah, we'll do that.
Rock Humphries. You go first this time.
Okay. Oh,
Do you want to go with your man?
I took the punt on him last week. Didn't happen. Again, Liv was just too strong, but he played well, Rock, to his credit. Again, oh, man. Yeah, we'll go Rocky. We'll go him. Why not? Oh, he's played well recently. Again, he's had such a good second half of the campaign, just like Bunting last year. So I have to give him credit for that.
Without winning a night? Or
Sorry?
making it, or without winning a night or making a nightly
not
final?
Yet. Not yet. He has been very
Still
close
3
to
nights to
making
go.
a final. 6-4.
All right, I'm going
Humphries.
Humphries 6-3. In that one,
6-3. Okay. Last quarterfinal. What do you see there?
I see a
Humphries
matchup
6-4,
between 6-3.
Yeah.
I see a matchup between Van Veen and Bunting. That's what's going to happen. Well, even then we don't know. Let's hope everybody shows up.
Hopefully no one pulls out. Touch wood. Because we don't like
Can
that.
I see Stephen Bunting just, what I want now is Bunting just not to finish last. So I
know
need to
that,
manifest
yeah.
that happening, even if he's probably not going to make finals night. Let's give a Bunting 6-4 victory over Van
6-4?
Veen.
Okay.
I think this is a game that could theoretically, that could go either way.
Yep.
Um,
No, I agree. 100%. I'm liking what Van Veen's putting up at the moment, and I reckon he will beat your man. And I will go in a very close game, 6-4.
6-4. Okay, I thought you were going to say very close. I thought you were going to go last league decider.
Not
So,
very
with
close
that in
enough.
mind, give me a
Yes.
nightly winner, Josh. Does Humphries finally
Right.
do it? Does Littler keep bouncing on? No one's won. He won 6 last year. Did he, Littler? I can't remember now. It's
6 nightly
nightly
wins.
wins. I think he won 6.
Give or
I
take.
think he won 6.
I reckon it's close to that. All right. I got nothing against Littler, but I don't want to see him win again. It's just, it's not boring, but just to manifest more chaos.
But it's boring.
You know?
It's boring. That's what he's saying.
No,
Did
it's
you hear
not.
that, Littler
No,
household? Did you hear that,
no,
Luke?
it's
Josh
not.
thinks it's boring that you
It's
keep
not.
winning. So keep winning.
It's not. He's very good. He's number one for a reason. Come on now. All right. Price 6, 3 in the top half, and then stuff it. Rocky make the final. Rocky will beat Van Veen 6-4. Price first, Rock, and for the very first time, Rock will be the nightly winner. I haven't put his photo in for 14 nights, so that will be the very first night. Rock will win. And it will be a.
Does anybody have a drug test around? I need to make sure that Josh is okay. I think he's just.
I don't do drugs, guys.
Are you on an acid trip or
No.
what's happening here?
6.
Mind you, who knows? It might happen.
6-4 against Price. Let's do it. Come on now. Let's do it. All right.
Now, Rock and Bunting are in the same section. So if Rock does win the night, he would go past Stephen.
There you go.
They might be on the same amount of points. Actually, no. They might not be. It would depend on leg difference because they both won 13 and they both won a night. So he might not. Depends on leg difference. Me, I'm going to be boring. Look, this year has been the struggle street for people at home. So
it has been.
I do think Humphries beats Bunting. He makes the final, and I think Littler continues beating Price. We got the All Lukes again for yet again.
Yep.
Maybe what I'm manifesting here is them getting rid of this format. That's probably what I'm doing. The Lukes again. It'll be a fascinating match. It'll be a 6-4 victory to Littler.
Okay. I thought they were going to say.
I'm hoping now that I haven't tipped him, Humphries will get a. Actually, what I'm kind of hoping for is what I said earlier in the program, that Humphries will make nightly finals, won't win, and then we'll win the whole thing. Maybe that's what I'm hoping for. Maybe that's what I'm predicting.
Maybe.
I'm not predicting that.
Again, easy for me.
I'm just forecasting that as something that might happen.
Easy for me. I'll leave the same photo on the graphic, so it's fine for me.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Brilliant. You put up. We need to put up a Josh Rock photo at some point on the graphic, so
That's
we
what I'm
might
saying.
as well.
His photo's just chilling there on my screen, ready to be put up.
All right, so you did have it ready. So other events, we have a Eurotour qualifier for the host nations for Eurotour 6. The CDC returns, as well as which has a US Master qualifier as well, and we've got more Pro Tour events coming up next week. But the big event is that European Tour event in Graz in Austria. Now, the number of players on the screen that are showing up. Now, initially Littler was there, but they had to pull him out and replace him with Rocky. So Clayton won't be there, and Mensah won't be there. But Schindler is somehow the 9 seed. Not sure how that works. Van Veen will be the number 1 seed, and Josh Rock, I think, is also there, or maybe I'm pretty sure he's also there. So that'll be the Austrian Darts Open coming up this weekend, and Bo Greaves is theoretically like 4th on the reserves list, but we would need a few more pull-outs in the next 48 hours or so, and I don't see that happening. Darts Archive week. Ooh.
Yes, Peter Wright and the GOAT 16-time world champ.
I was going to say, where is this video? There is this video.
It's going up. Premier League of Darts, 2014, week 14, best of 12 legs. This is like one of those marathon things. I think it's not like. I should actually check.
It's the watch party. It's the watch party or rewinds.
Roughly the 58-minute mark. I should have put there. Sorry. Best of 12 legs, so a draw could be on the cards. May not. Really good game. Taylor storms out the blocks, 3-1 up. Wright responds well. Will it be a draw? Will it be someone on top? Who will know? We'll find out next week.
Well, you'll know if you watch the game live. You remember the result. Otherwise, just watch it.
Oops. Sorry.
We're available.
Shit. Hang on.
As a audio only, where we do not bleep out. Just saying the wrong thing.
I just leave by accident. Go on. Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. Everything's good.
Yep. Spotify, YouTube, as we are. I will fix that. But we are 99 followers now. We are 1 follower off 100. Just so you know.
So please follow us on the platforms. Right, Josh, that's it. Another big show.
Very good show.
Luke Littler winning in Aberdeen. Does he continue on this streak? Does Humphries finally get a nightly win? Does Josh Rock go on an incredible run? Does Bunting keep his very minuscule chances of making finals night alive? What happens on the European Tour on the CDC? There's a lot that will happen over this next week. Will we get some news about the ANZ Premier League? Please give us dates and tickets information, please. PDC and ADA. By the way, their next slate of tournaments is coming up next weekend. So that would actually be a good time to announce it. So I could see them doing it then.
Where is it, in Queensland? No, I'm trying to think where it is. It was in Canberra last time.
It might be Queensland. It
might
actually be
Queensland.
It might actually be Sandgate. So
I think so. Anyway,
we'll talk about that next week. We might preview it a little bit. We might do some other things there as well.
No doubt.
Follow us
Instagram
in places. Subscribe to Extra Time on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating and a review on all your platforms. Tell us your friends.
Tell your friends, family, your dog.
Tell your friends that there's a great darts podcast from Australia that people should listen to.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you very much. Great fun as always.
This has been the 9 Dart Podcast.